So these weapons are not going to Framingham?
No, these weapons,
Framingham facility.
no, they're gonna go to the Middlesex Sheriff's facility.
That's
Yep, it's a
huge issue. What do you do with
yeah,
them
it's
once
a
you
yeah,
find them?
exactly. So it's a
Sheriff's Department solves
yeah.
that problem.
They help. Yes, that's a problem that luckily we don't have to deal with. So from a logistics standpoint, they take all the weapons. At the end of the day, sometime during the next week, we will take the log of all the weapons and we'll run all the serial numbers through federal database just to make sure that they're not lost, stolen, or used in a crime. Going back to the October 2016 gun buyback, out of all the weapons we brought, everything came back quote clean. Nothing was lost, stolen, or reported involved in a crime. So it was all stuff that was, probably legitimately owned, that just was turned in. So we will do.
I did,
Okay.
and it is in recording. So basically, I'll have a few questions.
Okay.
So how did it all start and what motivated the police department and of course the current chair of the council, Dennis Jimlady? How did it all start? Because I tried, I failed, and
So this all, are we recording now? Okay. All right. So this all started probably back as probably before Chief Ken Ferguson took office. The initial idea was brought in under Chief Carl, with at the time I believe, Chairman Dennis Giambetti at the Board of Selectmen level, or he at very least he was a selectman. And it was like a lot of some initiatives, police initiatives, it just never got off the ground for various reasons. Maybe other things were on board. So when Chief Ferguson took over, Mr. Giambetti brought it forward again to him. I want to say it was probably late 2015 that he brought it up to Chief Ferguson at the time. So Chief Ferguson asked me to do some research on the program, and that's when I kind of went back and did some legwork, looking in various programs. The Middlesex Sheriff's Department, obviously, Worcester Police Department, Boston Police. So I just did a lot of research to see the pros and cons of gun buybacks, the logistics end of it, etc. So once we got that information, we sat down with the chief. When at the time, Mr. Giambetti, we decided that we were going to go forward and put together a gun buyback in probably the spring of 2016 is when we started the initial process for the first gun buyback, which we did in October of 2016. So then it was just, okay, funding sources, who are we going to get basically sitting at the table to assist us. So the police department, Mr. Giambetti, we reached out to Mutual One Bank. They were on board to donate. The Metro West Health Foundation, they were on board to donate. So we had some initial help there with the funding. And we also looked at the Interfaith Clergy Association, because a lot of gun buybacks, based on the research we did, if you involved the interfaith clergy and various religious sect, you tend to get a little bit more outreach. And we took the approach of a public health initiative on this event. We really weren't looking to take guns away from, gun owners. Our job here, or the way we looked at it, was to, get guns off the street that were not wanted. Whether they were just old guns just laying around someone's house and they just didn't know how to get rid of them. It's kind of like I said, a public health initiative with Hazardous Waste Material Day. You have old paint, batteries, etc. We give a resource. You have a place to get rid of them. So what we did is it just kind of took that approach on the gun buyback. So if you had old guns or guns that you just didn't want, you just didn't know how to get rid of, we were allowing you the opportunity turn it in, we'll dispose of it properly, and get it, quote, off the street, so to speak. So what's the background? Why do we want to get them maybe out of people's homes that don't necessarily want them? The research shows that guns that are maybe lying around people's homes, so to speak, could be used in domestic violence situations, the potential for suicide, with mental health issues. If God forbid someone's house got broken into and the guns got stolen, now the guns truly get out onto the street and could be used in a crime. That's kind of where the approach was on the gun buyback. And so our first gun buyback in October of 2016, to be honest with you, that day we got here, we had no idea what the turnout was going to be. We thought, maybe we'll get 30 guns. I mean, really, we kind of set our expectations low, but we far exceeded that. I think we ended up with probably 172 to 175 eggs.
Everyone, no one's being hauled in, right, to this buyback. Everyone's coming here voluntarily, and they're saying, I don't want this device anymore. And that's that moment where they obviously don't ask, they may have more, firearms at home, they may not. They may love firearms, they may hate them. None of that matters, right? At the end of the day, if you're going to get to the real safety aspect, you say, this is an unwanted firearm. We know that unintentional shootings are the majority of shootings, right? Let's focus on that, right? And like I said, so if you look at where public safety and public health come together, that's the key. So
Excellent.
here's hoping.